Well, welcome back to another Grade One preview here at TwinSpires. Scott Shapiro, Darin Zoccali joining you for one of the most prestigious races of the summer, not just at Saratoga, but anywhere. It is the Alabama, and we once again get the matchup of Nest and Secret Oath. These two fillies have been spoiling us with their rivalry, and we get to see it a little bit more, Scott.
We sure do, but it wasn't much of a battle last time out, of course, here at Saratoga in the Coaching Club American Oaks, where it was all Nest. A little bit of an odd race with the Likely Speed Horse Society missing the break, getting moved up from that point. A little bit of a battle up front, but I don't think it was going to matter that day. Nest was much the best. She continues to move forward instead of backwards, despite having a very strong effort in the Kentucky Oaks. Probably the opposite could be said of Secret Oath, where I think that was probably the best race we're ever going to see her run. And it's hard to imagine her turning the tables here, at least from my perspective, Darin.
Yeah, I kind of fall into the same pattern and pattern of thought as you. Let's look back at the CCA Oaks, where it was kind of an interesting race because Society had a stumble at the start. The filly to her inside had a stumble. Society looked like she was going to be loose speed. And though she eventually got to the front, she had to kind of work her way there around the first turn and come up the inside of Nest, who sort of inherited the lead early. No Society in this field. And it's another race that doesn't seem to have a ton of early pace. Nest, I thought, ran a really inspiring race because she was on the lead. She let a horse come to her inside. She then, on the backstretch, took over from that horse and then was quickly challenged by Secret Oath. Now, there are going to be people that are going to say that that's not the race Secret Oath wants to run. I'm going to take the approach of Nest pretty much fought everybody off, took a big punch from Secret Oath going into the far turn, and ran away from her like they were on two different planets.
I agree. Like I said, I think Secret Oath, from a performance ratings perspective, whatever you look at, might have run that career best effort in the Kentucky Oaks and is unlikely to get back to that. We'll see if the coach can resurrect her. I think if you're going to look to beat Nest, which I'm not really trying to do in here, Darin, a horse that I think just gets better with more distance. We saw her effort in the Belmont Stakes where she ran a very good, better than looks on paper, second. But Gerrymander is the horse, I think, with the upside to beat this one. The Mother Goose was a pretty soft field, especially considering the fact the odds-on favorite Juju's Map failed to fire her best shot that day. And she's never gone two turns. That is Gerrymander. But pedigree there is there to get the two turns. She's a half to lone rock, a marathon stakes winner, runner for trainer Robertino Diodoro that has proven distance is not an issue. So maybe Gerrymander can get to jump on Nest. I'm not sure if we'll get an aggressive ride from Joel Rosario or not, but she does have tactical speed. And I think if Nest is to get upset at the graveyard of favorites, like some like to call it, it's likely to be Gerrymander.
Yeah, she seems to be a logical third choice candidate that I think has more upside than Secret Oath for all the reasons that you said. The one time Secret Oath beat Nest, Nest got into some traffic in the Kentucky Oaks. Secret Oath got the jump on her. I have a hard time envisioning a scenario where that happens here. Gerrymander could just be getting to the top of her game at the right time. She did beat Nest last year as a 2-year-old. Is there any concern that she's coming in, though, off a lifetime best effort and perhaps we could see some regression off that win in the Mother Goose?
Yeah, you're asking a lot of questions here. I know the Mother Goose was a grade 2 and a decent field, but you're taking on the best of the best. You're trying two turns for the first time, and it's at 1.25 miles, not just 1.1 miles. So a stretch out from that one turn, 1.16 miles at Belmont. So I could certainly see the case to be made for maybe Gerrymander regressing or not necessarily liking the move up in class and distance, and Secret Oath maybe taking another step backwards. If that is your approach, maybe Nostalgic, who I know did not run well last time, had significant trouble as my terrible pick in the Kentucky Oaks. And I don't think we spoke of the trip of Secret Oath. I don't think that's what Nostalgic wants. I think she wants to make more of a one-run type or be, mid-pack. And maybe she'll get that trip. The distance shouldn't be an issue. But in the end, Darin, for me, it's going to be hard to try to beat Nest with any sort of excitement.
I completely agree with you. Nostalgic for me was the other one that I wanted to talk about. The Kentucky Oaks, obviously, for all the reasons you said, just completely ignored that race. Now, look, she was well beaten last time out in the Coaching Club America Oaks. But perhaps if you want to use Nostalgic, perhaps to round out your exacta at a price, something to potentially hang your hat on was she was coming off a bad trip in the Kentucky Oaks. She was off for 78 days going into Nest, who was obviously extremely sharp. And now coming back in 4 weeks, second race back off a little bit of a freshening. There probably is some move to move forward here for a great trainer like Bill Mott. And I still believe that this is a very talented filly who wants to run long that I don't think we've seen the best of yet.
I'm with you on that. So maybe we can try to get a little exact. I think I'm going to try to beat Secret Oath out of the exotics as a whole. I could see playing Nest over Gerrymander and Nostalgic in a trifecta. And then I could see maybe trying to get a little cuter with an exacta Nest Nostalgic and maybe hope Gerrymander either runs third or doesn't hit the board. But for me, Nest looks like the clear one to beat, not very creative.
No, it's either great minds think alike or misery loves company, because our tickets are going to look exactly the same. I'm not giving you too much of a disagreement here whatsoever. We are on board with Nest, who we think is going to grab this division by the horns and run away with it as the winner of the Alabama. Best of luck to you today betting on the Alabama. Thanks so much for joining us. For Scott Shapiro, this is Darin Zoccali, and we'll see you again next time for another TwinSpires Grade 1 preview.